Good evening and welcome to Gladiators TV. My name is Gareth Bemister, your host and your commentator for this evening's match. Championship Speedway returns to the Coliseum. We have got the Plymouth Gladiators up against the Scunthorpe Scorpions this evening, and a very strong looking Scunthorpe Scorpions lineup as well. We have got a Scunthorpe Scorpions team that comes to us. They're having only one loss so far this season. They've been in tremendous form in the BSN series, but of course this is the championship and it's all a completely different competition. Some very quick riders in the Scorpions lineup, but one that is catching the eye is of course last year's Gladiator, Michael Palm Toft. He returns this evening and he's sure to bring all of that experience of the Coliseum this evening, and he's going to be somebody for the riders to get over. Of course, the Plymouth Gladiators, they have got their usual 7, lots of them showing great interest and great improvement this season, of course. The reserves, Jake Turner and Ben Trigger, they improve every single week, and they really are going to be a key this evening. So without further ado, we're going to go down to Nigel, who is down in the pits, and he's caught up with some riders and some managers down there.
Well, Richie, good to have you back this week. You had a busy week last week, first representing Great Britain and then your European qualifier. How did those go for you?
It went good actually. There was a lot learned, a lot experienced. Didn't qualify for the set, which was a bit disappointing. That's something I wanted to at least get through to the next round. A lot of effort went in to get there. Obviously missed the whole match, which I wasn't too happy about either. But all in all, it was good. Yeah, it was definitely a big learning curve. Yeah. You
had 6 points from your first 3 rides, I think, and you looked in a pretty good nick at that point.
Yeah, the track was really heavy to start with. We had a lot of rain in the morning, so it suited me that. And then, and I think it was like a bit of a level playing field for everybody. And then once all that dirt went, and it became probably more of a local track for the Italian guys. And then it's over 400 metres, that place. So it's a big old track. And then the Poles and the Danes, who are probably used to riding that stuff abroad, they kind of found their feet then. And yeah, so I was making the starts, but then getting overtaken. The setup was wrong, or I'm not sure what, but it's one of them. Just got to learn from it.
Not a good time to be racing Paul when you're missing, but the boys did very well in your absence, didn't
they did. Fair play. It was close, but yeah, they did well, which I was happy about. Yeah.
Good to be back though tonight, and Scunthorpe, one of the form teams in the country at the moment.
Yeah, which is a surprise really. Scunny normally, when I saw the team, I thought, gosh, he's put a good team out this year, Rob. So, yeah, let's see what they can do around here.
Obviously, they've got Michael Palm Toft, who rode here last year. Obviously, was injured for a spell.
He didn't ride much, did he? But yeah, yeah. So obviously, I think most of them know the way around this place. They've all been riding long enough in the British League. So, well, let's hope the Starke and the other boys are on as good a form as they was last week, and I can do what I normally do and score a few, and we turn them over.
That must have done a lot for team confidence last week to win at home and beat Poole.
Yeah, absolutely. Poole they're the team to beat, aren't they? They walk around with a target on the back, really. So even at home, when we have been lacking a little bit of confidence and probably something's been missing. Yeah, it was nice. I'd imagine for the boys to get a win and try and snowball on from that now.
And the first championship match of the season, obviously playoffs is a target for you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. That's got to be the first target, playoffs, and then grand final. Then obviously, so yeah, number 1 target is playoffs, like you just said. So Gaz is looking for a 60-point win tonight. So. We'll see what we can do.
Well, wish you all the very best for that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh, Ryan, welcome to Plymouth, and the Scorpions arrive here in some cracking form at the moment.
Yeah, it's good. We've had a good start to the season with an away win and some good home wins. So, yeah, it'll be tough tonight, though. It's obviously a different kind of track, and gating's very important. So, concentrate on that, and if we can get out the starts, I think it'll be a big help.
Yeah, big difference to the Eddie Wright Raceway, isn't it, here?
Yeah, that's it. There's some a bit more passing opportunity, I think, at Scunthorpe, but it still makes good racing here, so I'm sure it'll be a good meeting, and hopefully we've got our trapping gloves tonight.
You've got a very solid looking lineup all the way through this season.
Yeah, a few changes in the winter, a bit of backup for myself, and I think Jake's riding a lot better this season. Bringing Michael in, obviously, is a very good rider in this league, so it's it's good, and obviously Connor as well, and Joe. So it's a strong team all the way through this season, and it's good to be hopefully get some more success on these away tracks.
No Zane Kennedy again tonight, still injured, but Lee Complin likes this track very much, rode a lot for the Centurions last year. He might be a key man tonight.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I haven't seen his results here before, but I've heard he's done a few good meetings, so yeah, hopefully he can repeat that tonight and help us be a bit stronger at reserve.
You must be very pleased with how your season's gone so far.
Yeah, it's been good. I had some good meetings. Last night I had a bit of an off at Wolves, so I'm a bit sore today, but no, I'm still okay, and yeah, I've had some good results here last couple of seasons, so I'll be hoping to do that tonight.
You topped the BSN series group in what's a very strong group with Redcar in there, and I'm sure you want to convert that into the championship. Yeah,
that's it. We managed to do Redcar on home and away advantage, so yeah, it's a good bonus for us to make it through the next stage, more meetings, and yeah, you want to carry that on now. Plymouth got a very strong side all the way through too, so I think it's going to be a tough and tight meeting.
And Michael Toft, obviously here last year, I'm sure he's been able to give you a little bit of advice on the track.
Yeah, I think Tofty, I think he's been injured last year, most of the year, so I don't know how many meetings he did, but I'm sure he knows the fast way around, and I'm sure I'll ask him for a few tips myself.
I wish you all the very best of this evening.
Cheers, thanks.
Thanks, Nigel. Now let's have a look at the team lineups this evening. So for the Gladiators, we've got Kyle Howarth at number 1, the team captain. Dan Gilkes is at number 2, Paul Starke at number 3, number 4 will be Ben Barker. Returning this week, Richie WORRALL at number 5. Jake Turner at 6 and Ben Trigger at 7. The team manager this evening, Garry May. And for the visitors, the Scunthorpe Scorpions, we've got Ryan Douglas at number 1. Simon Lambert captains at number 2. Number 3 is Connor Mountain. Jake Allen at 4. Returning to the Coliseum, Michael Toft at number 5. Guesting at number 6 is Lee Complin. And Joe Thompson at number 7. The team manager for the Scorpions is Dave PEET. Now let's go live and see how it's looking trackside.
But, well, I mean, you know, Gladiators won the toss last week and it really helped them in those opening heats. They gated brilliantly last week, but hopefully they can carry that gating form into the early stages of this meeting.
Yeah, so the Scorpions are being announced here. We've got, of course, Jake Allen there, a few quick Australians in this team, actually, but Douglas, Lambert and Mountain before that. And here is Michael Toft, a rider who's got plenty of recent experience on this circuit, of course, and it will be interesting to see if he picks up where he left off last year. There's the reserve you were talking about, Nigel, Lee Complin.
I loved watching him here for the Centurions last season. He's such an entertainer. When the grip goes out towards the fence later in the meeting, that's when he absolutely revels. But Michael Toft, he got a 12-point maximum for the Scorpions against Birmingham. I don't think we saw the best of him last year because of his injuries, but I'm sure he'll be keen to come down here and get a hatful of points.
Yeah, he certainly will. So the Gladiators now being announced here. Paul Starke riding at number 3 this evening, and Benjamin Barker, of course, Plymouth through and through at the moment. Richie WORRALL returns, and there's no doubt that they were feeling his absence a little bit last week. The result probably wouldn't suggest that. Jake Turner and Ben Trigger at reserve, and Jake, of course, had his first win last week in the reserve race. So here we go then, Heat 1, sponsored by Prow Park Business Village. We have got this time off the inside there in Gate 1, we've got Dan Gilkes in blue. In yellow in Gate 2, we've got Simon Lambert off of Gate 2 there. Gate 3, we've got Kyle Howarth in red. And off the outside here, we've got Ryan Douglas. In fact, we've switched. Just having a look there, we have indeed yellow. Good start there. Simon Lambert in yellow, Dan Gilkes in blue, Ryan Douglas is white, and Kyle Howarth will be off the outside in red. Apologies for that.
So that does confirm that Scunthorpe won the toss, then, doesn't it? So
yeah. And an interesting encounter here, possibly very important, according to Mattie, Kyle and Ryan, the two to watch here. So tapes up on Heat 1, it's an even break, and coming across from the outside, Kyle Howarth. Has a good ride from Kyle Howarth, and Dan Gilkes has muscled his way through into second as well. He had to move Ryan Douglas over, but I think that's the sort of riding we're going to need this evening. 5-1 at the moment.
Yeah, good brave riding there from Dan Gilkes, just moving Ryan Douglas out towards the fence there and following his partner through on this 5-1. Douglas, well, he just locked up a little bit there and he's just been taken down by Simon Lambert. Douglas got too much grip there, just locked up, and Lambert has come underneath him. He's just picking himself up. I'm sure he'll be fine, but just momentarily lost control. He was telling me on the interview earlier that he hurt himself up at Wolves last night, so the last thing he would have wanted is to fall in this opening race, but I think he's fine, but he will be excluded.
So to confirm the result of heat number 1, it was a win in red for Kyle Howarth. 3 points to him, 2 points to Dan Gilkes. 1 point to Simon Lambert in yellow. No score for Ryan Douglas in white. There is no winning time because the result was declared, which means it's a 5-1 in the favour of the home team. And off to a very good start here, the Plymouth Gladiators, and we are already on 2 minutes for heat number 2, our reserve race. So here is the lineup for heat number 2, sponsored by John Parsons. We've got off of gate 1 here in red, Jake Turner. Gate 2 in white, the guest, Lee Complin. We've got in gate 3 in blue, Ben Trigger. And Joe Thompson here is off the outside in yellow for the Scorpions. So start marshal calling them in here. Heat number 2 at the tape. Such an intriguing one, this heat number 2, with these up-and-coming riders. So tapes up, away they go, and again from the outside coming across. Coming from the outside, Joe Thompson. He's having to go right round the outside. That is a good ride from Thompson in that second. But Jake Turner has hit the front once again. It's the Kiwi that leads.
Yeah, Lee Complin just slipped underneath Ben Trigger there to make this a 3-3. But Jake Turner, as I said, picking up from where he left off last week. Looking very stylish out the front. I like watching him ride. He's got Joe Thompson down his exhaust pipe. Turner keeping a nice inside line around the first and second bends there, and Thompson has got it all to do to overhaul him here.
Yeah, another stylish ride from Jake Turner. He's got a real lovely style on the bike. As I say that, he straightens up in the middle of the turn. He just picked up a bit of drive. Joe Thompson, he saw that happen, and he's now hunting down Jake Turner. It's going to be close to the line, just on the line, and I think Complin may have found his way through as well there. It got very close, and that was that mistake in bends 1 and 2.
Yeah, you were saying before, Paul Starke was saying maybe he was overriding a little bit, but I think Jake might just have hung on to second place there ahead of Lee Complin.
So it was yellow, Joe Thompson, 3 points to him, 2 points to Jake Turner in red, 1 point to Lee Complin in white, and no score there for Ben Trigger in blue. So here is Heat 3, sponsored by the Phillips family, Exeter. We've got off of Gate 1 here for the Scorpions. We've got Connor Mountain. Ben Barker comes out of Gate 2 in blue. In yellow, we've got Jake Allen for the Scorpions in 3. And off the outside, Paul Starke in red here for the Plymouth Gladiators.
Jake Allen's back to his usual form this season. Had a few injury problems last season, but he seems to have made a good start to this campaign.
So here we go then. Heat number 3 is at the tapes. Tapes up, away we go, and once again we've got an even break, but it's Ben Barker that emerges in the middle of the corner. He's straightened up a little bit in the corner. That has allowed around the outside Jake Allen. So Ben Barker losing out on bends 1 and 2, similarly to Jake Turner.
Yeah, 2 battles in one here, Barker and Allen out the front, and Starke and Mountain, they're struggling a little bit around that first and second bend at the moment. Ben Barker almost came to grief, and so did Connor Mountain there, just to see how they cope with it on this occasion. It's just a little bit of a dry patch just going into that bend that they're having to keep an eye out on, but it's Jake Allen out front at the moment with Ben Barker in hot pursuit.
Ben Barker will be frustrated with himself here. He did make a good start. He got across the front of Jake Allen, but Jake Allen definitely wily enough to get past him. He's going to come home here for the Scorpions with a nice win. It's yellow, blue, red in this heat, so it's a 3-all here, but a win for the Scorpions in the form of Jake Allen.
Yeah, the Aussie will be delighted with that. As I said, Ben Barker just had a slight issue on that first and second bend. Just maybe picked up a little bit of grip, and that allowed Allen to shoot through.
So after Heat 3, it is now 10-8 in favour of the Gladiators, a narrow lead at the moment. So there is the result. In first, Jake Allen, 3 points to him in yellow, 2 points to Ben Barker in blue, 1 point to Paul Starke in red, no score for Connor Mountain. In white, it's now 10-8 in favour of the Gladiators, the time 51.75. And yeah, relatively quick time given the fact that the track is catching people out a little bit.
It's just like a little dry groove that we can see from the...
Just here, you can see here, Ben Barker, keep an eye on Ben Barker, just straightens up a little bit there, and that was enough to allow Jake Allen around the outside of him. Here is the official lineup for heat number 4. Off the inside, we've got Connor Mountain in white for the Scorpions. So Jake Turner's in gate 2 for the Gladiators. Gate 3 is Michael Palm-Toft in white, and Richie WORRALL off the outside in red. So already switching those reserves around.
Yeah, we're used to Garry May doing that, fiddling the reserves in the early stages of the match. And, as I said, Turner was looking very good in that first ride until he made that mistake. So
he could be the power player here for the Scorpions. At the moment it's 10-8. It is nicely poised after 3 heats. So taped up on heat 4, and once again from the outside Richie WORRALL comes sweeping across. Jake Turner's gone infield unfortunately on that tricky first turn, but it's Richie WORRALL who leads, and the 2 Scorpions are right there behind him.
Yeah, another great gate from Joe Thompson there, led into that first bend, but Richie WORRALL showing his knowledge of the track, coming around the outside of him. But again, as you said, Jake Turner just been caught out on that first bend. WORRALL's opening up a very big gap here, and the Scorpions are just packing in second and third, looking quite content to draw this heat and keep the margin at just the 2 points.
Yeah, so a fairly straightforward affair this one. Jake Turner, of course, will be excluded, having left the circuit, so he's effectively just getting some track time here. The Scorpions are racing amongst themselves. Joe Thompson at the moment just narrowly ahead, but Richie WORRALL takes the win. It's red, yellow, white in this one, and Richie WORRALL with a very, very convincing win there.
Yeah, he's looking in good nick, isn't he, after returning from all his travelling. Had a good guest appearance at Edinburgh a couple of days ago, and he's brought that form down to the Coliseum, and he's getting a standing ovation from the home straight. It's a 3-3 heat advantage, or heat draw I should say.
So the results of heat 4, it was a win for Richie WORRALL in red. 3 points to him, 2 points to Joe Thompson in yellow, 1 point to Michael Palm-Toft in white. No score for Jake Turner there in blue, which means it's 3-all and 13-11 overall. In fact, we've got Paul Starke in red, Simon Lambert in yellow off of gate 2. Gate 3 is Ben Barker in blue, and off the outside is Ryan Douglas in white. So,
yeah, as I said, he did have an injury from Wolverhampton last night, but hopefully he's none the worse for wear for that.
So tapes up on heat number 5, away they go, and once again Ben Barker has made his way to the front. Ryan Douglas has fallen once again. Now this is going to be interesting, because he will argue that Ben Barker made it very difficult for him on that turn.
Well, the referee has taken the easy option, shall I say, there, and has put all 4 back in. I think that's probably fair enough. I'm sure 1 or 2 Gladiators fans might feel that, I'm not sure there was massive amount of contact there between Barker and Douglas. It's happened right in front of us, but you know, I think it's fair enough. It's all 4 back in, and Douglas will be mightily relieved about that.
Here we've got the gate stats on the screen, and you can see there that gate 4 is very powerful at this point. 3 out of the 4 rides being won from gate 4. So we've got the rerun here, sponsored by the Bates family of heat number 5. Paul Starke off the inside in red here. Off of gate 2 we've got Simon Lambert in yellow. Gate 3 is Ben Barker in blue, and Ryan Douglas off the outside once again. So second time of asking, and hopefully we will be okay this time around.
I'm sure it will be an equally toughly contested opening bend of this race.
So here we go, heat number 5. Tapes up, away they go. And Ben Barker this time makes a very good start once again. He's being followed up the inside by Paul Starke, but Ryan Douglas has been able to come round the outside of Paul Starke. Simon Lambert is trapped out the back. Ben Barker is under tremendous pressure from Ryan Douglas.
Yeah, Douglas gave him a little bit of room on that opening bend, but then tried to cut up underneath him. It almost came under Barker coming out of the bend 4 there. Still a tiger on his tail, and there's a battle going on at the back as well between Paul Starke and Simon Lambert. Lambert almost coming up to Starke's got a problem here. I think his engine and maybe a chain has gone. He's laid his bike down there. The red lights have come on as well, so this race will be stopped.
So we got another race stop, and at the time when the race was stopped, Ryan Douglas was all over the back of Ben Barker. Right at the end there, Ryan Douglas seemed to have built up enough speed. It'll be interesting to see if this one is declared. You see Paul Starke, he's definitely got a problem there, hasn't he? You called it, Nigel. There was something wrong. So Ben Barker, 3 points to him. First place, Second place, 2 points in white, Ryan Douglas. 1 point to Simon Lambert in yellow. And Paul Starke excluded as the cause of the stoppage. It's another 3-all. Now it's 16-14.
He just laid his bike down going into the third and fourth bend, but that could have been a nasty one, but thankfully Simon Lambert was very alert to what was going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's our new Gladiators live stream, Gladiators TV live stream banner just here. Every Tuesday night with you throughout the 2023 campaign. So here is the lineup then for heat number 6, sponsored by Catdown Wharf Limited. We have got off the inside here in gate 1, Michael Palm Toft. Gate 2 in red is Kyle Howarth. Gate 3, Lee Complin in yellow. And gate 4 off the outside there, looking a bit pale there, Dan Gilkes in blue. Something's not right here, is it? Because I think Lee Complin ought to be on gate 3 and Dan Gilkes is supposed to be on gate 4.
Yes. Yeah, that's unusual, isn't it? To see the riders select the wrong gates. It's a bit of a giveaway if you're alongside your own rider, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Kyle Howarth looked across and realised Dan Gilkes was a bit closer to him than he fancied. But here we go with heat number 6. They are ready now on the line. Tapes up, away they go. And Howarth has made a great start off of gate 2 and Dan Gilkes is coming round the outside to join him. That is a picture-perfect start between Kyle Howarth and Dan Gilkes. That is how to do it. And now it is all about the Scorpions. What can they do from third place?
Yeah, fantastic communication there. Howarth looked after the inside and Gilkes just swept around the outside for this, what's looking like a 5-1 at the moment. Michael Palm Toft will keep Howarth honest. But he'll do well to get past Kyle Howarth on the form he showed in the last 2 weeks. And Dan Gilkes, great to see him coming back to his best form after his injury problems last year.
Palm Toft is staying very, very close to Kyle Howarth and Dan Gilkes. They're not getting away from him here, but very encouraging to see Dan Gilkes going so well off of that outside line. That is a perfect result there for the Gladiators, blue, red, white, and that is team riding at its absolute best, as the stadium announcer said as well. Perfect racing from the Gladiators.
Yeah, the backstraight fans delighted with that, and as I said, that was classic first bend team riding between the 2 Plymouth boys there. One took the inside, one took the outside, and they're getting another standing ovation from the home stand crowd here.
Yeah, a tremendous ride from Howarth and Gilkes, their second 5-1. And there we have the result, a win in red, in blue, sorry, for Dan Gilkes. 3 points to him, 2 points for the rider in red, Kyle Howarth. 1 point for Michael Palm Toft in white. No score for Lee Complin in yellow. 5-1 to the Gladiators means we are 21-15 overall. And that winning time, the fastest of the evening, 50.97. So a fine result there. We can see here, this gate here was absolutely sensational. Howarth on the inside, Gilkes running outside.
Yeah, Howarth looked after Michael Palm Toft on the inside, and there's Gilkes just sweeping around to claim that. Well, he actually went in front of Howarth to claim another, as you said, 2 5-1s tonight from that pair, looking very strong.
Here is the lineup here for heat number 7. We've got off the inside here, we've got Richie WORRALL, who's already on 3 points. He's in red. In white, we've got Connor Mountain coming off of 2. Coming off of gate 3 is Ben Trigger in blue, and he's now gone to gate 4, so there is real confusion down there. And off the outside is Jake Allen in yellow. So we've got Jake Allen and Richie WORRALL, who have both won a heat so far. So here we go with heat number 7, sponsored by JP Trophies. Tapes up, away they go, and it is off the outside here. Jake Allen, who makes a brilliant start, and he's having a look for his teammate who is up the inside of Richie WORRALL, but Richie WORRALL manages to fend him off. So Jake Allen looking good here.
Yeah, he made a great start in his first ride as well, and looking for a repeat here, and Connor Mountain putting Richie WORRALL under a lot of pressure for second place, but a lovely swoop around the outside there by Australian Allen. He's showing a real liking to this track this evening. Richie WORRALL trying to go the fastest way around on that inside line, but not doing too much at the moment to close that gap, and he's also got to keep an eye on Mountain behind him.
Yeah, I think Richie WORRALL, we wanted to attack Jake Allen, but he couldn't attack Jake Allen because he had Connor Mountain sniffing all over the back of him. And this is looking like a very good 4-2 here for the Scorpions. A great ride from the Scorpions. Yellow, red, white. And Jake Allen with his second win of the evening, and the Scorpions getting a 4-2 here in heat number 7, which will be very handy and will bring things back nice and tight going forward. So here is the result of heat 7. A win in yellow for Jake Allen. 51.53 was his winning time there, 51.53. Second in red was Richie WORRALL for the Gladiators. Third in white, Connor Mountain. No score for Ben Trigger in blue. And it's a 4-2 to the Scorpions, which means it's 23-19 overall, so still a slender lead for the Gladiators at this point.
Yeah, let's just watch this start again, and Alan really determined move there to just get his nose in front of Richie WORRALL going into that first bend, and then swooping away down that back straight. And as we said, Connor Mountain was keeping a very tight line.
So the lineup for heat number 8, we have got off the inside here in blue, Jake Turner. Off of gate 2 in yellow, we've got Joe Thompson. Gate 3 in red in fantastic form, we've got Dan Gilkes. And off the outside in gate 4, we've got Simon Lambert.
Yeah, Dan Gilkes looked very good so far this evening, and he'll be looking to fly out of gate 3 here.
So 23-19 at the moment, a good close competitive match so far. Dan Gilkes is looking very determined on that start in gate number 3. He'll know that Simon Lambert has got a bit of an advantage here off of gate number 4, and he'll need to trap before him. So tapes up, away they go, and Lambert has made a good start, but Gilkes has got even quicker off the start, and he needs round the inside. Simon Lambert is coming right round the outside. It's a great ride from Simon Lambert. He made good use of that gate 4, generated speed, and he now leads, but Gilkes is all over him.
Yeah, this is a tremendous scrap. Very brave riding there by Simon Lambert, sweeping down the back straight. Jake Turner's suffered an engine failure at the back. Can he get this bike off the track in time? Oh, this is a bit nasty, this. Oh my goodness me. Well, the red lights didn't come on. Jake Turner hadn't cleared the circuit, and how Simon Lambert missed him. The red light's on now. But well, surely that should have come on a little bit earlier. That could have been really nasty, that.
So we've got red lights on, but the riders for some reason haven't seen them. They're still circulating at the moment. Now the riders are pulling up. So that was really quite worrying scenes there. Jake Turner, as he come past us, there were sparks flying from the machine, the bike completely seizing up. You can see there that the back wheel is completely jammed.
The race will be awarded as how it was at the time, so that's a win in white.
So the race has been awarded.
So that is controversial, really, isn't it? So we've got Simon Lambert there with a win, 3 points to him, 2 points to Dan Gilkes in red, 1 point to Joe Thompson in yellow, and no score for Jake Turner, who will be excluded as the cause of the stoppage. But an unusual decision there, given the fact that there's no doubt about it that the stricken machine there did cause a problem. And here we go off of the start. Dan Gilkes, he did make a great start, but keep your eye on where Simon Lambert. He's right out wide there. He's going right round the outside, and he's going to pick up an awful lot of drive going down that back straight. And into the lead goes Simon Lambert. And from there on, Dan Gilkes, despite the fact that he was pushing very, very hard.
So obviously very close meeting still so far. 2 points in it. You guys have definitely been putting on the pressure the last couple of heats, but there's been a few choice decisions by the referee. Obviously that first one being with the Paul Starke incident. In my opinion, the red light shouldn't have gone on. There was a racing contention. And obviously that one, the lights were put on a little bit too late with Jake Turner still on track.
Yeah, obviously I had a word with the referee after the first one, because I, like you, there was definitely a racing incident, and Dougie was upside Barker, I think, in that one. And, you know, you just said, no, it's awarded and that's it, which, you know, I believe the rule book says that you can award it when there's not a race, and there definitely was a race there. And this last one, you know, I had to question it because Simon came into the bend and Jake Turner was still clearing the track and he had to make evasive movers. So he said he pressed the wrong button. So
I mean, I think really, in retrospect, if it had been a less experienced rider, it could have been a slightly different outcome there, maybe. But I mean, in regards to the team's performance tonight, I mean, are you happy with how it's going? Obviously, there's been a few decisions that have gone against you, but you've been fighting back the last couple.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there was choice of a tactical earlier on, and I deferred it because I felt it wasn't the right time to do it. I'm glad I did that because I've still got that in my arsenal for later on if I need it. Hopefully not going to need it. The boys are finding the setup now. They're getting out the start. And hopefully, like Paul did last week, they'll turn it around the latter part of the meeting. It is a difficult place to come to, this Coliseum. But hopefully we're dialed in now, and certainly Jake's found the setup, sharing it with the boys. So yeah, a lot more racing to come, and let's put on a good show for the fans.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Simon, you enjoying it? Obviously that last one you got a race win.
I don't like Plymouth at all, mate, you know that, but I come here last year and didn't score any points, mate. I can't afford to do that again. It cost me too much money last year, but I think were we 4 behind, 2? Oh, even better, we were 6, aren't we? But yeah, I know we're in it. It's ours to take, you know. We're good on paper and we're all chipping in, and it's just making starts, isn't it?
I mean, I've been saying to everyone most of the week, I mean, I always think Scunthorpe is the most underrated fixture for the Coliseum fixtures, because it always kind of goes back to that old Conference League rivalry back when they were always contending for the title. Obviously, yourself, obviously at the time, racing for Boston. But, you know, it's always a tough meeting. Whenever Scunthorpe come, I mean, last year you come in lost by 6, and I think the year before that it was only by like 8 or 10. So it's always a very close meeting. You know, I don't know if it's still a little bit of rivalry there. I don't know. But what I got to say, I'm very impressed with your back straights at the minute. You're getting those wheels in line super early, making all that speed up down the back straight. It's pretty impressive.
Oh, mate, I don't really know what I'm doing. It just starts, mate. You know, just lack of riding, really. Not riding. You know, these boys, Dougie's got 14 meetings in a row, and it's like, how you meant to compete with that? You know, like not physically, but like reactionally as such. But you know, Worrall and Howarth and Gilkes, they're all riding all the time. But you know, we got a busy week this week. We're here tonight, Birmingham tomorrow, Scunny Friday, Berwick Saturday, and then another week off or 10 days off for somebody like myself. But first 2 rides, mate, just starts. I mean, you know, Heat 1 didn't seem too bad. Heat 1 was probably my best ride here compared to the whole of last time here. I was terrible last time I come here, but you know, that was not the best start in the world. It went up, but it went forwards. Just made a little change, and it worked. And pretty ballsy, brave first corner, and nice to get a win. I don't know, win here for a lot of times. So yeah, but obviously no. As a team, you know, we got to keep going. But I think we're an underrated team this year. I think you know, we can go far. Hopefully, we just got to stay injury free and see where we end up.
Well, good luck for the rest of the meeting, mate. Not too much good luck, but good luck.
And we have got Ben Barker here off of gate 1 in blue. We've got Michael Palm-Toft here off of gate 2 in white, and Paul Starke here off of gate 3 in red, and Lee Complin is off that gate 4 this time in yellow. So interesting to see Lee Complin. He does like the outside, Nigel.
Yeah, not seen the best of him so far tonight. He's only got 1 point from his first 2 rides, but
so here we go then. Heat 9 is at the tapes, ready to go. 25 points to 23 at this halfway stage. So tapes up, away they go. Barker's made a good start off the inside. So too off of the middle it is Paul Starke in red, and it is Barker and Starke who lead down the back straight. So a good ride here from Paul Starke. The pressure was on. He's allowed Ben Barker the room up the inside as well. This is looking good from the Gladiators.
Yeah, that's more like it from Paul Starke with the lighter with that gate. Ben Barker on that inside line. Michael Palm-Toft just challenging him around the outside. Barker looked around and saw Toft coming there and just shut the door. But Toft is going to try again around the outside, going down the back straight. Barker lifts quite violently there, but manages to get the wheel back down before he entered the bend. And it's Gladiators on a 5-1 heading into the final lap.
Once again, Michael Palm-Toft being the victim of some very good team riding in this one. He suffered quite a bit of this evening. He's once again stuck behind Starke and Barker. It's Paul Starke and Ben Barker, red, blue, white, for this heat number 9, and a solid 5-1 from the Gladiators, and that gets things back on track for the home team, that's for sure. Michael Palm-Toft, despite all the efforts, couldn't find a way past the very impressive Gladiators pairing. Yeah.
Paul Starke will be absolutely delighted to get 3 points on the board there, and Ben Barker following him home, and the pairing that did so well last week is back with a full 5-1 again.
Yeah, so here is the result of heat number 9. The win there, 3 points to the rider in red, Paul Starke. 3 points to him, 2 points to Ben Barker in blue, 1 point to Michael Palm-Toft in white. No score for Lee Complin in yellow. 5-1, 52.31 was the winning time. And it's now 30 points to 24 in the favour of the Gladiators. And very quickly the Gladiators taking a commanding lead. Coming to the line here, heat number 10, and we have got off the inside here once again, we have got Dan Gilkes here for the Gladiators in blue. We have got Jake Allen in yellow off of gate 2. Jake Allen yet to be beaten so far this evening. Kyle Howarth is off of gate 3 in red, and Connor Mountain off the outside in gate 4 in white. Now Jake Allen yet to be beaten, but he's got Howarth and Gilkes, who have performed 2 5-1s so far. So in the previous race, they were the other way round. Gilkes managed to boss that outside line whilst Howarth looked after the inside. They've switched around this time, so it'll be interesting to see if Gilkes can manage Jake Allen off of gate 2. So tapes up, away they go. Gilkes has made a good start. The pairing of Howarth and Gilkes once again lead here. They trap Jake Allen down, and once again this is looking good for the Gladiators. Jake Allen will set about chasing after Dan Gilkes though here.
These two are in imperious form tonight. Fantastic pairing, heading at the moment towards the third 5-1. Jake Allen chasing after Dan Gilkes, but Carl Howarth enjoying himself out front. Bit of fresh air in front of him. No need to team ride this time. They've got a big lead over the Scorpions duo, and this is how Gladiators open up quite a lead in this match, and I'm sure Tactical Substitute is not too far around the corner.
Carl Howarth looks super quick in this one. It'll be interesting to see what his race time is, because he's not been waiting for his teammate Dan Gilkes at all. He's just been getting on with things here and getting the job done. It's a 5-1, red, blue, yellow, and Jake Allen is beaten here for the first time this evening by this Gladiators pairing that are absolutely on fire. So the results of heat number 10, it was a win in blue. It was a win in red, in fact, for Kyle Howarth. 3 points to him, 2 points to Dan Gilkes in blue, 1 point to Jake Allen in yellow. No score there to Connor Mountain in white. That means it was a 5-1, and 35-25 is now the score, a 10-point lead. The time there was 52.44. So here we go then, the lineup for heat number 11. We have got off of gate 1 here, we've got Ryan Douglas in white. Gate 2 is Richie WORRALL in red. Gate 3, Simon Lambert in yellow. And off the outside here, Ben Trigger in blue. So heat number 11 then is at the tapes, ready to go. Tapes up, away they go. And Richie WORRALL makes a great start off of gate number 2. He clamps Ryan Douglas down on that inside line. He has got both of the Scorpions buzzing around him. Ryan Douglas is the rider that is taking up the challenge in that second place, but WORRALL's going to have to be going for it here.
Yeah, Douglas will be chasing him all the way here, keeping a tight inside line. WORRALL rode a lovely line through that first couple of bends just to keep him at the back, but we saw what's the challenge Douglas was putting in earlier when the race was stopped, and he's not giving up at all. Racing WORRALL down that back straight, disappears into some dust into that third and fourth bend, but still a little bit to do for Douglas.
Ryan Douglas is building up the speed here. He's gone very wide. Richie WORRALL's going to have to see where he goes. He's much quicker into bends 3 and 4. Richie WORRALL's just stuck it down on that inside line. He's blocked the run of Ryan Douglas. It's incredibly close. Just about red, white, yellow. Only just red, white and yellow there, because Ryan Douglas was very close to getting past Richie WORRALL.
Yeah, tremendous effort from the Australian there. Wasn't going to go down without a tremendous fight there. Well, I think WORRALL probably won it by half a bite length there, across the start-finish line, and he continues his good form of the evening.
Richie's winning time 51 on the dot, 51.00.
So the results of heat number 11, it was a win in red for Richie WORRALL. 3 points to him, 2 points to Ryan Douglas in white, 1 point to Simon Lambert in yellow, no score to Ben Trigger in blue. It was a 3-all, which means it's now 38 points to 28, and the winning time was 51 seconds exactly there. So that now is very close to the time set earlier by Dan Gilkes. 0.03 of a second difference, so here it is. You can see here that Richie WORRALL just makes an absolutely fantastic start, immediately gets over the front.
And you can show how much the riders trust each other, because Douglas is right up his exhaust pipe there, but he knows, got complete faith in WORRALL ahead of him. And it was like that pretty much the whole 4 laps.
So here we go then, heat number 12 is on the line, and we've got off of gate 1 here, Ryan Douglas coming in as a tactical substitute. He's in yellow off the inside. Paul Starke off of gate 2 in red. Connor Mountain off of gate 3 in white, and Jake Turner comes in here as the reserve off of gate 4 in blue. So after this heat we have got the interval, which I'm sure we will get down to the pits for a little bit, and several other different things we'll get to pass the time, but might be a time at home to put the kettle on, have a cup of tea. before we get on to Heat 13 later on in the evening. So here we go with Heat number 12. Tapes up, away they go. It's a good start from the Scorpions duo this time. Ryan Douglas off the inside left from gate number 1, and he is joined by Connor Mountain round the outside, so this is a good 5-1 as it stands at the moment. But the Gladiators are looking quick in that 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, Paul Starke got left at the gate there. Totally outgated by the Scorpions duo, and Douglas and Mountain romping their way to a 5-1 here. Stark's chasing them down, but as I said, he really got left at the start. This is proving a good move by Rob Godfrey. This will cut the gap down to just 6 points heading into that interval, unless Starke can find a way past Mountain on this last lap.
He's trying to generate speed round the outside. Starke is now switched to the inside in that 3rd place. But really, Ryan Douglas coming out and doing exactly what he's meant to do. He comes out and wins. It's yellow, white, red, and that is a 5-1 to the Scorpions in a very timely fashion here as we head into this interval. A great tactical substitute from the Scorpions. So the results of Heat 12, we have got a win there in yellow for Ryan Douglas, 3 points to him, 2 points to Connor Mountain in white, 1 point to Paul Starke in red, and no score for Jake Turner in blue. The 5-1 to the Scorpions, which brings us to 39 points to 33.
They pulled a couple points back with that tactical ride in the last one, but obviously before that we had a 3-3 and 2 5-1s. You happy with how the boys? I mean, there's been a little bit of bad luck with a few falls, and obviously Jake's had a bit of a nightmare night with machinery and stuff. But are you kind of happy with how it's going there?
Yeah, the way it is. Scunthorpe are strong. You know what I mean? They're a strong side, and they're keeping them in it. You know what I mean? But you know, we got the big leaders to come now and Ben, so hopefully we can take a few more points and up to Scunthorpe with us.
Do you think, really, I mean, obviously it's still very early doors, and I was saying earlier, a lot of the other teams have had plenty more meetings than the Gladiators have, but obviously there's just a few little mistakes that, like a little slip there or a little slip there, it's those sort of little points that...
Starke there didn't get out of the gate, you know, that's lack of, he hasn't ridden for a while, do you know what I mean? And Ben hasn't ridden for a while, Jake doesn't ride, so, you know, Scunthorpe have had a few meetings, you know, and getting dialed in, and, you know, they got one again tomorrow, so have we, but, you know what I mean, but we just need... just a little bit more now. We need a few more points just to take up there.
Well, good luck with the rest of the meeting. I'm sure it's going to be a Gladiators win, and yeah, good luck.
I hope so. Thank you.
How's it going, mate?
Not too bad. I'm on pace, so I'm not out of it. So, you know, still learning. You know, it's never going to come overnight. So, you know, slowly getting there. But yeah.
So obviously, with making the jump to his championship this year, obviously a massive step in regards to what you've done, obviously, with your only 2 seasons in National League. But obviously the generic thing is gaining the experience and all that. But are you gaining anything else? Like obviously, amongst some of these lads that are doing Premiership and meetings on the continent and that, are you learning a bit more than you thought you initially would?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, everything to this point I've taught myself. So, you know, anything that these guys are telling me, it's always helping. And I mean, it's only recently that, you know, my starts are getting better, which showed tonight, which, you know, it's just experience of championship, really, and, you know, talking to riders that have more experience than me. So, yeah, definitely, it's definitely a big learning year for me, and, you know, even though I might not score anything, you know, I'm not being disheartened by it, because at the end of the day, I can only go forwards from where I am now. So, yeah, I'm just basically looking forward to spending the rest of the year with these guys and taking on board as much as they tell me.
I was actually having a conversation with someone last week in the crowd, and I was saying there's been riders put in a similar situation as you, obviously being young, but have had a lot more experience than you and performed a lot less. So I think you're definitely doing yourself proud. Obviously, it is a massive jump, but have you found it's helped you with your National League stuff at all, or is it sort of like you're just sort of taking that in your stride as well?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's making me tougher in National League, and, you know, I'm more consistent in National League as well. You know, I'm scoring fairly all right points over there. You know, I got my first 12-point maximum in National League, so, you know, it's definitely, it's not going to waste, and it's being transferred over to National League, which I'm really enjoying at the minute. So, yeah, definitely everything that's happening this year is only going to help me, and, yeah, obviously both leagues are always going to be helpful to me and beneficial in the future.
Well, keep it up, mate. I don't think it's going to be too long until we see you winning Heat 2, so keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see there that once again Gate 4, well 3 and 4 really, are very advantageous, and I'm just going to have a look at that in a minute.
Gates totally advantageous, 10 heat wins out of those 2 outside gates, 2 from the inside, and 22 points.
It's unusual for here. I mean, Gate 1 is usually quite good early on, but I'm just looking ahead. We've got Palm Toft, as you say, off of Gate 4 in this next Heat 13, and then we've got Ben Barker off of Gate 4 in Heat 14. So here we go with Heat number 13. We have got off the inside here Kyle Howarth in red. We have got Ryan Douglas off of Gate 2 in white. We've got Richie WORRALL off of Gate 3 in blue. And Michael Palm Toft off the outside in yellow. A mouth-watering lineup for Heat 13. So they are coming to line for Heat 13, sponsored by Southwest Tyre Recycling. And this is a big one, that's for sure. Tapes up, away we go, and off of the inside, Kyle Howarth hasn't made it to the turn. It's Ryan Douglas that leads off of Ben 2. Both the Gladiators are packing second and third, and they are now hunting down Ryan Douglas, but he did exactly what he needed to do off of gate number 2.
Well, Palm Toft has just come underneath Richie WORRALL there. WORRALL went a bit wide on Ben's 3 and 4, and Toft has sneaked underneath, so it's a 4-2 to the Scorpions at the moment. Howarth keeping on the heels of Ryan Douglas, but he's also got to keep an eye on Palm Toft, who's the Dane is making ground on him down that back straight, and the Scorpions continuing their fight back here.
So one more lap to go here, and Ryan Douglas is looking ultra impressive in this one. Kyle Howarth, for the first time this evening, is being headed by a Scunthorpe Scorpion, and he has got Michael Palm Toft not too far behind him, but it's another third place, but it's white, red, yellow, white, red and yellow, and Michael Palm Toft once again finding himself in third place. That's his 4th third place of the evening, but crucially for the Scorpions, that's a 4-2 advantage, and that does tighten things up even more going into this late stage of the meeting. So the result of Heat 13, it was a win for Ryan Douglas in white, 3 points to him, 2 points to Kyle Howarth in red, 1 point to Michael Palm Toft in yellow, no score for Richie WORRALL in blue. But here's the replay, and you can see here that Douglas makes a tremendous start off of gate 2, gets across the front of Kyle Howarth, and that pretty much did it. And there you can see Richie WORRALL is in good position there in that third place, but as you said, Nigel, he gets forced onto the outside and it just wasn't fast there. He was in no man's land. So Heat 14, sponsored by the Bar Bandits. We have got off of the 8 inside here in gate number 1, we have got Jake Allen in white, Jake Turner is off of gate 2 in blue, Joe Thompson is off of gate 3 in yellow, and Ben Barker off the outside here in red. And really, Ben Barker has got to win this race, and Jake Turner, it would be very advantageous if Jake Turner was able to score a point here as well. So Heat 14, sponsored by the Bar Bandits. Tapes up, away they go. Barker's made a very quick start, but he has been trapped quicker than him is Jake Allen, who's got to the front. Ben Barker, he tried to come across from the outside, he couldn't quite make it, and now he's going to try and ride round the outside of Jake Allen.
Yeah, Allen just needs to concentrate on hanging on to third place. He's going to have Joe Thompson all over him. Makes a little bit of a mistake there, almost ran to the back of Ben Barker, but he's managed to keep control, and it's crucial he keeps that third place and gives Gladiators that 4-point lead going into the final race. Barker hasn't given up on catching Jake Allen though at the front, but Allen looks like he's heading at the moment to his 3rd heat win of the evening.
A determined ride here from Ben Barker. He's been trying to get the better of Jake Allen, but in this latter stage, Jake Allen is now getting away from Ben Barker. This is a confident ride from Jake Allen, a tremendous result for Jake Allen. He takes the win. It's white, red, blue. So it's 3-all, which means that it is very tight going into this final race.
Yeah, crucial 3rd place there for Jake Turner, though. He kept his concentration well there despite coming under pressure from Joe Thompson, and he did make 1 or 2 slight errors, but he'll be delighted to have followed Ben Barker home for that 3-3, and it sets up for 2nd week running another last heat decider.
Yeah, so here's the result. It's a win in white, Jake Allen, 3 points to him, 2 points to Ben Barker in red, 1 point to Jake Turner in blue, no score for Joe Thompson in yellow. 3-all, 54.22 was the winning time, and it's now 44 points to 40. So as we go into this final heat now, it's all about whether or not the Scorpions can force a draw. So here we go, you can see Barker here, he leaps to the left there, you can see he comes across very hard on Joe Thompson and blocks his run, but unfortunately Jake Allen was much quicker off the inside.
Yeah, Jake Allen just looking over his shoulder there, just keeping an eye on. I'm sure you could hear Barker coming up the outside of him, but he knew where he was all the way there. And
so here it is, the official lineup of Heat 15, sponsored by Proud Park Business Village. We have got off of gate 1 in red, Kyle Howarth for the Gladiators. Off of gate 2 for the Scorpions in white, we've got Ryan Douglas. Off of gate 3 for the Gladiators in blue, we've got Ben Barker. And off the outside, we have got Jake Allen for the Scorpions in yellow. So Jake Allen currently is on 10 points. Douglas has scored 10 points as well. Howarth has only been beaten once this evening by an opponent, and Ben Barker has been banging in the points as well. He's on paid 10 as well. So 4 big scoring riders here. None of them will want to drop points at this stage in the meeting. So here we go, Heat 15, tapes up, away they go, it's very even, but from the outside, sweeping across Jake Allen, Ryan Douglas has fallen once again, and he fell heavily there, he went over the high side, the red lights have come on, so it got very tight in that turn, and Ryan Douglas is looking in a little bit of discomfort off of the camera.
But also damage to...
There we go, Liam Brown there carrying the bike. That gives him something to do anyway for the evening. Liam's been helping out.
Oh, that's great to see. Ryan Douglas on his feet.
Yeah, good news. It was a heavy fall, and of course for a rider that's had a heavy fall last night as well in Heat 14, I think he fell in last night. He'll be really worrying about these late races because, yeah, 2 nights in a row now he's had a nasty fall. So the rerun of Heat 15 is coming to line, and we have got off of gate 1 Kyle Howarth in red for the Gladiators. Off of gate 2 in white we've got Ryan Douglas for the Scorpions. Off of gate 3 in blue we've got Ben Barker for the Gladiators, and off the outside in yellow for the Scorpions Jake Allen. The Scorpions mean business with this one. They do want this 5-1. They think they can do it. They think they can get this 5-1 and bring it to a 45 all draw, and that will be a tremendous feat given how things have unfolded here this evening.
Yeah, they won away at Birmingham this season. It's only went down by 8 points up at Redcar last week, so they're getting some good results on the road.
So here we go then, Heat 15, sponsored by Proud Park Business Village. Tapes up, away they go, and this time Ben Barker has made a fabulous start. He leads, Kyle Howarth follows him. Right round the outside goes Jake Allen, a great ride by Jake Allen. He almost goes into the back of Ben Barker, but expertly stops. That was a great ride from Jake Allen, but he's now back in third.
Yeah, Howarth's come back hard underneath him there. Very brave by Allen down that back straight. As you said, almost powered into the back of Ben Barker. But Carl Howarth has nipped back in front, and Gladiators on their way to a match-winning 5-1 here. But Jake Allen certainly not going to give up, and Ryan Douglas also remaining interested at the back. This is, we could almost throw a blanket over all 4 bikes here.
Yeah, they are riding very fast, but they are right together, and Jake Allen still hasn't given up. He's going into the dirt, he's switched up the inside, he's going to have a go at Kyle Howarth going into turn 3. Kyle Howarth chops his nose off going into the turn, and the Gladiators cling on to a 5-1. A tremendous result for the Plymouth Gladiators. Commiserations to the Scorpions, a great night's racing by them, but another 5-1 for the Gladiators confirms it is a victory for the home side.
Yeah, Ben Barker kicked his legs out in delight as he crossed the finish line there, and Howarth following him home. And the home crowd, or home straight crowd, absolutely delighted, on their feet.
So the results of Heat 15, it was a win for Ben Barker in blue, 3 points to him, 2 points to Kyle Howarth in red, 1 point to Jake Allen in yellow, no score to Ryan Douglas in white. 5-1 to the Gladiators, which brings us a finished result of 49 points to 41. Congratulations to the Gladiators, and commiserations to the Scorpions, who have rode really well this evening.
Kyle Howarth, the last two to join the track, to the truck as they go round. So the Gladiators scorers tonight: Kyle Howarth 12 and 2 bonus, just 1 dropped point for the Gladiators skipper this evening. Ben Barker has got 12 and 1 bonus. Dan Gilkes, 4 rides, but he scored 9 and 2 again, just dropping 1 point. Richie WORRALL 8 points, 2 wins in that, a last place as well, but another good contribution. Returned to the side after his international duty. Paul Starke, a difficult start to the meeting with a fall as well, but he got 5+1. Jake Turner, it's probably worth a little bit more than his 3+1. And Ben Trigger certainly working very hard, even though he failed to score. Over to the Scorpions. It's Jake Allen leading the way for them. 3 race wins for him with 11 points. Ryan Douglas with an equally excellent 10, despite 2 or 3 times he hit the deck this evening. Simon Lambert, despite admittedly not liking this track, getting 6+2. Joe Thompson, a good contribution with reserve. He scored 6. Michael Palm Toft, 4+1, a solid return to the Coliseum for the former Gladiator with 4 third places. 3+1 from Connor Mountain. And Lee Complin, the guest, is 1 point. Let's hand you over to Gareth and the pit, some reaction from the riders.
So we've got Kyle Howarth, the captain, with us. Kyle, fabulous night's racing. Great night for yourself, really, in really good form here.
Yeah, enjoying it. I've got a nice little setup, what's working, and look, this place is majority all out the starts, and if you can make the starts, you've won most of the battle. It's a tough place to pass, but yeah, for myself, it's started off really well, and that's how I want it to start off. But look, it's a better performance from the team. We chucked a few points away, being 16 points up last week, and then today we chucked some points away, didn't we? Being 9 points up. We seem to be making it a little bit hard for ourselves later on in the meeting. So look, it's a positive to win by 8, and we take off from there.
Great stuff, and that partnership you've got with Dan Gilkes seems to be coming along nicely.
Yeah, for sure. We know each other from Sheffield. We're getting on, so he's a good rider. And look, I don't really have to tell him or give him advice. He knows what to do.
And tomorrow night at Poole, obviously last time down at Wimborne Road didn't go to plan, but yeah, things feel a lot different, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. So the team's had more riding, everyone's been riding more consistent, so look, we need to go there and do something.
Absolutely. Well, Kyle, great night for yourself, great night for the team, and yeah, looking forward to tomorrow night and then back here again next week.
Cheers, thank you.
Great stuff. Well, that's Kyle Howarth. We better get off the track a minute because they are about to do a practice, but thank you very much for joining us here on Gladiators TV. Of course, I'm looking around trying not to get run over. Of course, tomorrow we have got the Wimborne Road. We've got the Poole Pirates. The Gladiators are going off to Poole Pirates. Then next Tuesday, we are back on Gladiators TV. Once again, please join us. If you can't get here at the track, join us live for the live stream, and we will see the Plymouth Gladiators going up against the Poole Pirates for the second leg of a Knockout Cup. I've been Gareth Bemister. This has been Gladiators TV. We will see you next week.